Hello my friends and welcome back. I was talking about this very suspicious, for me, arrests in Ukraine done by the Zelensky regime, claiming that this is a collaborator with the Russians, this collaborated with this collaborated with this. And you and I cannot verify if that's true. The thing is, I'm very suspicious and I'm telling you why. There are so many and so many powerful people, and all in the government, appointed some by him and some, in very high positions. And if Russia has such a big power in order to have all these collaborators, then they're in bad shape. Russians, I haven't heard anybody being a collaborator over there, only in Ukraine. How come? And the thing is, when the Ukrainians report that this guy was fired, this guy was arrested, this guy was whatever, disappeared, the mass media, Western corporate mass media in the West, just takes it as, oh yeah, well, another collaborator, let's move on. When a Russian guy falls off a, hospital window, oh my God, Putin kills him. If something like this happens with the CEO of whatever company jumped from, 12-story high building, can't remember, it was Bath and Beyond or something like that, wasn't it? He just jumped. No, it was okay, just inside trading, and he cooked the books and it's fine. But over there, the Russian Putin kills everybody. This guy arrests hundreds, and it's collaborators. I don't believe that, and I'm going to tell you why. Because I know too much about this kind of situations, people, and times and geographical locations. So Ukrainska Pravda on September 11, 2022 says that former head of security service in Kharkiv Oblast detained. Now this guy was fired first, about 3 weeks ago or a month ago. Now he was detained. What's going to be next? Disappear. How do you know? How do you know he's going to be he was going to face a fair trial? How do we know that? How do we know that it's not going to be happening to him like it happened with those poor Polish intelligentsia in Katyn forest? How don't we know that? And then blame it on Russia somehow. So let's see what these guys are saying. So Roman Dudin, former head of the security services of Ukraine in Kharkiv Oblast, who held the position until May 2022. In May, he was not 2 months ago or 2 weeks ago. Time flies fast. Has been detained on suspicion of treason. Ukrainska Pravda sources in law enforcement agencies. According to Ukrainska Pravda sources, Dudin was informed of suspicion of treason. But those guys who overthrew Yanukovych, democratically elected, legitimate government in 2014, those were not tried for treason. No, that was okay. Treason, you might ask why? Because they did that with the help of outside forces, countries. What do you want? That's called treason. Go and check the dictionary. Not you, that guy over there, okay? All right, let's see. According to Ukraine's Pravda sources, Dudin was informed of suspicion of treason. Press office of the State Bureau of Investigations replied to Ukrainska Pravda and confirmed the information that Dudin has been detained and notified as suspicion. The details are to be revealed on September 12, just so you know. So, a press office of the State Bureau of Investigations replied to Ukrainska Pravda. Ukrainska Pravda is a state-owned news outlet. So the state asked the state, hey, why is he detained? Because we got suspicious of treason. Okay. It's like you speak with yourself in a mirror. Previously, the president of Ukraine, handler of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelensky, fired Roman Dudin for negligent performance of his duties on 29th May and promised the law enforcement officials would investigate his case. Zelensky said that he fired Dudin, quote unquote, for selfishly carrying out about his own interest, that's corruption obviously, but it's just euphemisms, rather than working to defend the city from the first days of the full-scale war. So he was making hanky-pankies, like Zelensky is doing right now, I guess. On July 19th, Alexander Kutz was appointed the head of the security service of Ukraine in Kharkiv Oblast. Well, I do not know if this guy committed anything or did not commit anything. I have no idea. But the thing is that I can't find out. All I know is this guy was fired, detained because of some charges. Okay, I have no faith that this guy is going to have a fair trial. I think he's just the old style kind of behavior. Now, if how people are just looking at Putin and they think that Putin's Russia is Stalin's Russia, or Soviet Union to be proper and fair, right? They are mistaken. But on the other hand, when you talk about Ukraine, you talk Ukraine like Ukraine is the most civilized country in the world. And if I remember correctly, was the 146th country in the world in corruption, in the bottom, from 193. Ukraine, before the war. What do you think is right now? Do you think now is better? Now is the law of the jungle. I got the gun, I take whatever you got. So I'm going to tell you about how the purge and how it worked in Stalin's time. A very good book for you to read is The Gulag Archipelago by Alexander Solzhenitsyn, Nobel Prize for Literature, I think in 1979, I think. Then he defected into the United States, and then the United States did not like him because he was not very kind with a certain group of people who rode high in the Soviet Union and United States and in Germany and in Ukraine. Can you guess? Guess. Yes, those ones. So then they didn't like him. He became persona non grata in United States and in Soviet Union. Yeah, how is that? If you want to know who rules over you, if you want to find out, just criticize them and see how you're going to get it. Boom. So he was talking about the black vans, I think it was, that would just stop in front of the apartment building, were coming up, grab you wherever you were, taken out, and then taken into the gulag or just shot outside of the city. And his problem was and then he was charged with the enemy of the Soviet people and Soviet Union. That was a charge. Treason right now, the same thing. Now I gotta tell you a little story. I had my grandfather he was taken in the middle of the night in the same way by the communist commissars, the same kind. That was in the 1950 something, all right, 58 I think, something like that. He disappeared for 2 weeks. In 2 weeks he was brought back. We don't know what happened in those 2 weeks. He was taken, they knocked at the door, said, okay, are you here? Yeah, okay, let's go, you come with us. They took him, put him in the car, boom, out. Nobody knew anything about this guy, my grandfather, for 2 weeks. He's one of those guys that I have over there in the picture. When I change the angle, you see him over there. So anyway, this happened to my family, and it was a common practice in those times with those kind of communist commissars, all right? They had all names, not all, but some of them. The guys that were riding high were all Bernstein and Tombstone and Coleman and anyway, this is it. I don't know what happened with this guy, but I have a big suspicion that over there is occurring a purge, a personal vendettas and personal, you know, grievances, that I have something with you. If I have the power, I will just take care of you. And that's the times and the movement. I would not be surprised. I think actually that's what happens. That's my assessment. Do you think that the Ukraine is a very organized society? Organized crime society, yes. That's what I think. Based on previous history and how wars occur and what happens during a war and who has the guns, and they've been under martial law for what? For 6 months. What is martial law? Just check it out and see what's going on over there. They can shoot you in the street without any due process, and they just say that you are a traitor and you try to, I don't know, run away or something. Just check it out. And probably you already know. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.